Hello dear Nightshades, it's Otti again. I'm sitting here at Dark Space over Witten with a cool band from Netherlands, Silent Runners. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
First of all, we always do it like this, just let us know who you are and what's your part in the band.
I'm Stanley, I play guitar and I write lyrics together with Dolf.
Yes, I am the singer and play some keys, but not on stage.
I'm Jan and I play the bass.
So not on stage, that means in the studio and
Yeah. I'm like a studio nerd, but on stage they always take all the instruments away from me, so okay. Only sing.
Maybe it's better because the singer is standing there like this and doing the keyboards could be a little bit boring, I think.
Yeah, exactly. They thought I was boring. That was.
We said no, just drop the keys and sing.
True.
But let's start with the basics. So I don't know how many people outside know you already. Maybe some fans will watch, but we want to get some other people who don't know you yet. So how did the story of your band start back then?
You want to start?
Oh, okay, sure.
Maybe with the previous bands, because there's
we are friends for a very long time. So we started playing in this band we created together, which was like a theatrical band, very romantic notion of 19th century stuff, very historical oriented, and we used to play like very complicated shows with all kinds of instruments like flutes and mandolins and everything.
And trumpets.
And one day when we had sound check for yet another hour, 40 tracks of different instruments on stage and putting them down and picking them up, we were totally fed up with it. So we decided to do something completely different and picked up synthesizers, and we had so much fun creating a very new sound.
And I think an important reason is also that you were doing like a one-time Joy Division tribute band with the drummer.
Sure, yeah.
And that was like, you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And like, we want to make post-punk, new wave, because we always liked the music. Like, okay, what do we really want to make and what can we do and what's easy enough to just enjoy yourselves on stage without being too distracted by all the technical things. And this is what it became.
Yeah, it started out maybe like I never was a really big fan of cover bands or tribute bands, but we wanted to do Joy Division, the drummer and I, because we really love them so much. Like to get in that music, to get really into that music. If you start to play it and do the whole set, it was a one-time thing only, but it really tasted like more,
Yeah.
But I think Joy Division cover band or covering Joy Division is rather difficult, isn't it? To bring over the mood, the feeling of.
Yeah, we are kind of crazy guys. We really went all the way. Like if you go on stage like that, you have to really go for it. So it is not difficult playing wise, but it's difficult to get it just right. Because if you just play it, it sounds like shit. It's very emotional music. So yeah.
You have to get somehow of Ian's feeling, I think.
There is some stuff on YouTube still, so you can check out if we did alright.
Which name is for you if people want to see it?
It was the name New Division, but then you will see me with like Babyface, because it's a long time ago. So
it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes all these flashbacks to older times are really cool.
It's nice to edit it in the video. Right?
Now you're going to watch this right now.
Yeah, we can send you the link.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, do it. That's sure.
Trip down memory lane.
Yeah, cool.
So, and when Silent Runners started, I'm just not sure when was the time. When did you do it? The post-punk thing?
We released our first EP, like 6 tracks in 2015, and I think we've been experimenting like the year before just in the rehearsal space, like what do we want to make. So I think maybe we made like 20 or 30 tracks and we threw away most of it, because we actually made a lot of songs and then we mapped them on like this quadrant, like no, this is too happy, or this is really dark, and this is the sweet spot, and then we just, okay, these songs fit this feeling that we want to have, and I think that became our first set of songs. And it also means like dropping a lot of work because it just didn't fit.
So this means your work always is like finding the right mood of a song, not composition, but the mood to say it's like not too happy, not too dark.
especially at the start of the band.
Okay.
Because when we created the second album, the directory, and we almost threw nothing away, like only one song.
Yeah.
Because then we found what we wanted to do,
Yeah.
and then we just went with it.
And it was a lot darker than the first stuff that we made in the rehearsal space,
Yeah.
so that sort of fell into place right away. Yeah.
And did you have bands you took for orientation, or did you say, okay, we really want to do our complete own?
That last thing. Actually, we were not really. We didn't know a lot of bands in the genre back then. We just tried to make what we wanted to make. We didn't even know in which scene that would drop. We couldn't know. But when we put it out, the people that started listening to us, then we got into the scene. So that's the other way around, maybe.
Of course, we had like all the big names. Where we knew all the big names, you know, The Cure, and you were a big Depeche Mode listener, and we know Joy Division and The Sound and The Fall and all those, you know, the 80s stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it was never an inspiration for us in a direct way, because a lot of we also listen to, you know, just different music. Our key player also loves like funk and hip hop, and so we just try to make. You also do.
Yeah.
So we just try to make what we feel is right, and sometimes that means that maybe it doesn't fit what people would expect from us, but we're always trying to look for the sweet spot.
Yeah, but maybe this is a good way not to copy others, because there are many bands that are like others and like others and like others. Maybe it's a fresh opening for getting into the scene, for example.
Yeah.
At first, when we started playing, we heard, "Wow, you're nothing like all the other bands that are playing here." I think that was very nice for us to hear.
Yeah.
And also because we didn't want to recreate anything. And also we are a band on stage, so we play real drums, real bass, and that was sometimes it gets us into trouble because people expect a drum computer and a synthesizer and a singer, and we have to hook up like not 40 tracks anymore, but still like 20. So it takes a bit of time, but it gives the live energy. It comes across.
I think drums sometimes is a difference where you can say this is like not too cold music, but it's not that rocky. If you have a drum computer, it's a colder one than having drums.
We also like to on the CD to use drum computers, and then live throw it away and use acoustic drums. Then you get a completely different vibe. For the audience, it's also fresh, something else. And if you put on the CD, you get this cold electronic drum vibe again.
I think that's the fun thing when you talk about how we made the two albums. We had like the directory, which is more electronic, a lot of beats. We all made it with drum computers. And then we really had to learn all the tracks, how to play it live, because we made it in studio. Like, okay, what parts are we going to play? What are we going to drop? What are we going to put on tape? And the second album, Statues and Ornaments, like the one that we released last year, it was the other way around. We wrote everything in a live setting and we recorded everything live, just in like a few takes per song. So it was a totally different experience also for us.
Also, that's also a way to keep your creative songwriting fresh.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do the album process, I always like to see it as a whole thing, an album. And if you go about writing it another way, then you create also different kinds of songs. For example, we tried to make more post-punk. Let's discover what Silent Runners sounds like if it gets away a bit from synthesizers and more towards guitars and live. And if you do it all live and the whole writing process, nothing at a computer, which we were used to, we were just sitting at a computer every day creating the directory. Then we created a whole different kind of sound with the same people. So.
Yeah, but especially the role of the bass was completely different between the two albums, because the directory, there were some bass synths I needed to play on the bass guitar, and some bass synths I need to play on the synths, obviously. But the new album were really bass and drum driven, so the songs, the songwriting started often with the bass and with the drums, which was obviously for me nice.
You had a much bigger role in creating also the songs on the second album.
And it seems to me that you're a band that really likes the discovering process, not standing and saying we want to stay where we are now, but always getting a new vibe, a new feeling. Is it like that? Are you discoverers of music, maybe?
I think for us, we often talk about it, like what do we want to make, and I think we're really proud of all the stuff that we made. When you look back, you can see that on our EP we were still searching, like looking what works, because it has 6 different songs. One is almost like a crowd rock song, and the other one is like a very electronic, almost happy song. And I think with the new records, we want to keep it fresh. I think we're also easily bored. Like we couldn't make another directory because it would just be boring. We would be rehashing. Sometimes like the song that does best for us online is Roadkill, which is, I mean, it's a great song, but we could not just make a new Roadkill because that would be boring to just try and rehash it with different synths. And
the next album will be, we're already talking about it, and we're not talking about inspiration of bands, we're also not talking about what do we want it to sound like, we're talking about what process will it be. And now we're thinking about not using a computer, not using like the all acoustic instruments, but using synthesizers and drum computers, but live together. So create this creative vibe, but now again with the synths mostly.
So it's maybe like the sweet spot between the directory and
we will see.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be our worst.
I don't know. It could be. And then we'll just make a new thing afterwards.
But I think it's rather difficult if you have such different processors and such different records to get a live set that's really fitting. How do you work out this? So how do you transfer your songs from different times into one point?
I think it's no problem at all because we group them. We group the songs. Then you have like a transition song, and then you go into a different vibe. It keeps the show fresh. I mean, if you're playing an hour set or 45 minutes or even longer, then I think normally when I see bands, even bands I like, and they have too much the same sound, then I get bored halfway through. So it is a way to keep it fresh for the audience as well, to transition between these.
It's a fun thing when you look at the set that we're playing tonight. It's like first half, I think, is Statues and Ornaments, the new record. Then we have 4 songs from the directory as like a set, and then we end with one of the songs from my EP, which is like a classic that we always play at the end.
We're going back in time.
Yeah, we're going back in time. Set. So that's nice for people who know us a bit longer. It's nice to hear the familiar song.
And we have to talk about one thing, your label, because we know you guys, Susie and Andreas. So how did you come to Point Transmission, or how did they come to you? What was that connection?
Yeah, for some reason when we came in Leipzig for the first time for Wave Gothic Treffen, we ran into them, or they ran into us because we didn't know them, but they were like, hey you guys, Silent Runners, we are very curious for your music, and we had a nice evening with them in the church or in the old building. And the day after they were a bit skeptical because we were the new kids on the block, so it sounds interesting on a record, but is it also really good live? So, and afterwards they came to the merchandise stand and they were cheering for us like we had just won the Bundesliga. You did it! You did it! It was awesome! It was great! And then they asked us on the spot to sign at their label. So that was
sign now or never.
That was how we met.
But I think it's connections like they have that open doors, for example, like Festivals Tonight and stuff. I'd say. And so, as you told, you weren't into the scene, maybe even into the post-punk scene before that much. So how did you grow into it now? Learning, for example, Tonight, getting to know the other bands. What is...
I think, for us, we're never really thinking about scene, to be honest. And I think maybe that's because in the Netherlands, there's almost no dark scene. It's just nothing. So we're not used to it. So when you come here, it's like, holy shit, there's like this entire scene with cool bands and nice people. So for us, that felt like a really warm welcome, like you get adopted by the scene. So we're also really grateful for like the opportunities that we got from bookers, but also new fans. And I think the great thing is like one of the first big shows in Portugal at the Antumarans Festival. We had no idea what to expect. And we're like, oh yeah, it's like this Gothic festival. Okay, that's cool. Well, we're just gonna play it. So we almost go in like we're kids who know nothing and we'll just see, and it's and we like it. And now, of course, for a few years we're getting to know the scene, and of course new acts in the scene, and that's I think it's just really nice to find a place where people like you. Yeah, we're not used to that, to having like this special place.
But the nice thing is also the online community of the darker 80s scene, which helps us to be heard all over the world. I couldn't have imagined 10 years ago that our music would be played in Latin America or in Mexico or in the US, and each week I'm packaging an album, the directory, and send it to whatever country over the world.
It's all around.
It stays very special.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think, and the dark scene, as I discovered, I'm not only in the dark scene, but it's like a home, like a family in most cases for people getting into it and getting connected to it. So I think the drums are a little bit loud now, but we have a cool interview as well. Last thing, I ask almost every band now, but when you are going on stage, it's a little bit time now till you go on stage. How do you prepare?
We drink a beer and then we do a group hug and then we say, let's kick some ass. That's all the preparation.
We all try to get each other psyched, like we just hit each other a bit, and we're just like, okay, let's do this. And then,
and especially the drummer hits
it's really hard.
The show will never fail.
Yeah, he's pretty strong. So basically, the drummer just beats us up, and then we go on stage.
If you have some tips to do this better, then we're open for
maybe ways to protect ourselves.
Maybe some from nights.
Oh, that would be cool.
Armor,
like a metal breastplate. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So cool. I think that's really cool. It was a nice interview. Have you something you have to let the people know outside, like upcoming records, upcoming shows they really should know about?
Oh yeah, we have actually a song out yesterday. I don't know when this interview will be out, but that's nice to know for the people, maybe. Fool's Gold. And in a few months' time we will be releasing 4 other songs, like one in a row, which will be like a short breather between projects. These are like songs that found their origin in the Corona times, when we were like doing this at home, and we finished them just recently. So that will be out in like a few months.
Yeah, May, June, maybe. Yeah.
So, great. Then I have to say thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And bye to the audience outside.